Hey everybody, this is Bill Apter, and just finished my Sports Kita show for the weekend, and I just thought I'd come on here and thank all of you for following me for another year. Want to wish you all happy holidays, and you can now, as you know, you can follow me at Apter One Wrestling on Twitter. And it's Sports Kita. If you go to Google and put in Bill Apter profile, Sports Kita, you'll see all the columns that I've written for them recently. But I did want to get on here just real quickly, and I don't know if anybody's going to pop in here, but I do know that some people may archive this. So if you're out there and you'd like to say hello, please do that in the chat. But I just on here to wish you all a very happy holiday. And don't forget, if you're looking for a holiday gift on Amazon, you can still get my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. Yeah, and this move that I've done to sportskita.com has been a very positive move, and I want to thank so many of you for chiming in. Oh, we've got some people in the room here. I was getting ready to sign off. All I was doing was coming on here and wishing people happy holidays. So WWLTD, happy holidays to you too. TN Couponer, I remember you. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, and give a shout out to some of the other people that I'm online. I actually didn't embed this or anything. I just got finished with my Sports Kita show and figured I would do this. And I'm going to start doing this a little bit more in 2022. So if either of you two have any questions, feel free to jump in right now. And if not, I'm going to sign off pretty soon and wish everybody a happy holiday once again. I know I said that so several times. So no matter what you're celebrating, what holiday you're celebrating, or if you're home not celebrating anything at all, make sure you're having a safe time and get vaccinated. And plans for 2022, great question. Kind of a repeat of 2021. Keep staying in the business, keep plugging my book, keep plugging the pro wrestling business, and doing more work for Sports Kita. And I really appreciate your question. Mitch Weissman has entered the room. Again, Mitch, I was just going to sign off. The original living legend, I appreciate that, but I think my buddy Bruno Sammartino might have been upset with that. And I know Larry Zbyszko definitely wanted to be obsessed with that, would be upset with that. WW Limited, all I want for Christmas is someone to develop my old Kodak disc film cassettes. I've got, it's funny that you mentioned this. I've got my old film camera right here. With this camera, I photographed Bruno Sammartino against Ivan Koloff when Bruno lost the title to Koloff. What area are you in? Where do you live, WWLTD? Because there are a few camera stores still around, and even St. Louis. You can find places online that will develop that, but a lot of Walmarts, the older Walmarts that still have film labs, will do that. Andrew Rojas, welcome from the nation of California, one of my favorite nations in the whole world. I've been seeing on the news here in the New York, Philadelphia area that you people are dealing with flooding and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm glad to see you're on here, because that means you're home and safe. St. Louis, I was there tons of times back in the days of the classic days of the Kiel Auditorium. And I love as a tourist. I love to go up to the arch. I was terrified the first time I went there, but St. Louis, what a great history. The original home, in my opinion, of the National Wrestling Alliance. Anybody else with any questions? And I'm glad that several of you have found me, because I didn't tweet out any. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this link. Hold on a minute, and don't go anywhere. I'm just going to put this on my Facebook page. You probably can see me right now, but I can't see you. I'm going to put live now. And let's see what happens here. Let's see what comes up here. I'm not ignoring everybody here. I'm just trying to make sure that this works. Give me one more minute and I will be right back. And I don't have any hold on music here, but I want to make sure that I didn't post my account on here. So hang on a minute. A lot of people IMing me in the meantime. Okay, anyway, I'm back live and streaming. Okay, Andrew, so we got to you. I'm on those discs. What, you might have to send them to me to get processed. How am I on those discs? What did we do? Trigonosis, happy holidays to you too. I love that. Abel Graves, hi Bill, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Happy holidays. Tricun, I just tweeted out my live stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So hit me with some questions here, some wrestling questions. We're all wrestling people here. First of all, can you see me and hear me clearly? Because you're down in Apter's Alley at the moment, and lots of good stuff here. Even my friend Andy has shown up. Thank you very much. So I assume most of you, hey Dominic, I assume most of you know that I'm the guy that hooked up Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. Yeah, and if you don't know that, it's in my book, which is called Is Wrestling Fixed? I'm out of focus. I didn't know it was broken. And you can still get this book on Amazon. I will have, after the first of the year, another Apter Chat pack being offered, which would include this, a best of the Apter Chat DVD and some autographed pictures and a classic magazine. I will let everybody know. Meantime, please go to Sportskeeda. You know what Sportskeeda means? I didn't know this. The company's based in India, and Keeta means worm, like a bookworm. So this is Sportsworm. Please go to my profile on Sportskeeda. Okay. Just go Google Sportskeeda, Bill Apter profile, and follow me on there if you'd be good enough to do this. Welcome, greatest toys ever made. Hey, Bill, Merry Christmas. Same to you. The Apter mags were a big part of my childhood. I thank you, and all the people that worked at the magazines, thank you as well. And by the way, I always tell people this. Dan Shockett and Eddie Elner were real. Dan died at a very young age of cancer. Eddie Elner, you can find him online. He's got an online yoga presence called Yoga Soup. He's still around. No Easy Rider, Merry Christmas to you too. Always appreciate my videos. Thank you very much. I've got a story. Once you go to Sportskeeda, Bill Apter profile, I've got a very controversial story that's drawing like tons of response about what if Hulk Hogan were to be on the creative team in WWE. Now, I mean the current Hogan, not the guy who you all were talking about getting himself over all the time and just caring about himself, but the current Hogan who still follows the product. What do you think his input, being around the talent, might be in a creative manner and fine-tuning some of the characters there. So please go to Sportskeeda profile Bill Apter. You'll see the story. Read it before you answer it, if you would, because I make some very interesting points. And there's also a story on there, and this is all true. There's also a story on there where I had a dream about the Meccan dream, dusty roads, if you will. And the dream was him, what he would tell Cody Rhodes, his son, about being booed and how to handle it. And I got up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, and took down the notes from this dream, and I wrote a story about it. So that's a very interesting story. There's also a story about Randy Orton and if he's taken the Undertaker's place as the backstage general. So do we have any more questions coming in before I decide to sign off for for Christmas Eve? Hopefully Santa will be arriving down your chimney or in your apartment. It was an interesting dream. It was an American dream, but actually it was a worldwide dream. Have any of you ever had any wrestling dreams? That would make a hell of a column. So if anybody's on here right now and you've had any wrestling dreams, type it in here. I'd like to see it. What was my favorite era to work during? No question in my mind. I love them all, but the Jim Crockett promotions, Atlanta time and Florida Championship Wrestling, there were never any errors like that. I loved what I did and what I currently do doing this, but the Jim Crockett era, like I said, in Florida Championship Wrestling, the Gordon Soley days, and days in Georgia back with Ole Anderson. Yes, Ole Anderson, he and I got along great. I really miss those most times. Any talent you can think of that have a great mind for business would be a great backstage producer that many fans wouldn't think of. Jake Roberts, I think, would be a great one. I really do. And DDP, he's always got great ideas. I had a dream that NXT Black and Gold didn't end. Interesting. Very interesting. Abel Graves, love Ole. I always, I can do an imitation of Ole. Wrestler would go over, Ole, what's my finish? And he'd go, I don't give a damn what your finish is. Go in, do it. Leave me the hell alone. Get lost and come back tomorrow and do it again. Anyway, Dominic, was Fabulous Moolah difficult to deal with as a reporter? There's a lot. Oh, no, not at all. I used to speak to her 2 or 3 times a month, and I'd call her on my old wired phone, and here it is. I kept it. Is this cool? It's got a whole bottom part to it, too. And every time I called her at her home in South Carolina, she'd always pick up and go, well, hi, darling. She was an absolute pleasure. I never dealt with her in a business way like the promoters or the wrestlers may have done, but I certainly had no issues with her at all. So thank you. Really good. And in terms of dealing with me as a reporter, anytime I needed any information from she or any of the other ladies who wrestled for her, they were always very gracious to give me an interview. Monster Zero, Merry Christmas to you too. Greatest. What is my opinion on Billy Corgan's NWA? I watch the shows. I enjoy it. It reminds me of the old Georgia Championship Wrestling shows in a lot of ways. And I'm glad to see my old buddy Austin Idol in there as well. And Nick Aldis is a hell of a wrestler. Trevor Murdoch's a really good representative of as champion. So yeah, I really like that. No Easy Rider. Why not? You agree on the Jim Crockett Promotions days. You grew up in that territory. Yeah, it was fabulous. Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors. Oh my God. Big Ray, one of my adopted nephews, Much love to you, Big Ray, and your lovely wife. Just wanted to swing by and wish you happy holidays, Uncle Bill. Always with you, Big Ray Hernandez. Follow Big Ray. Tell everybody here what they can follow you, because Big Ray started off at onewrestling.com, and eventually he broke out, brother, and started going on his own with Ben Hameen and Vince Russo and stuff. And he's made a hell of a career for himself. And I appreciate everything you did back in the days of onewrestling.com, and I miss you. So let's go to Rachel Marshall. A lady has joined the group. Hi, Rachel. AEW is starting to imitate WCW and will go bust if they get too many more wrestlers. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, too. So here's the story on that. The show I just did, the Friday night SmackDown show on Sportskeeda with Dutch Mantel and Big Sid, we discussed that. The interesting thing is that AEW has got a lot of wrestlers on their roster. And, Kyle O'Reilly debuting again, not again, but debuting this week. But you don't see the same guys generally every week. They don't show the same guys every week. They kind of pace the guys in the undercard. So I don't think they're going to go bust. They have a lot of money, and Tony Khan is very ambitious, and so are the people that work for AEW. I don't think they're going to just kaboom and go bust. I see a robust life for them. And it's good having an alternate product to WWE because it makes everybody better. I thought SmackDown was a really good show tonight. The first match, Charlotte Flair and Toni Storm, I thought was excellent. And I was so ticked off when Ricochet did not win the gauntlet. This was Ricochet's night. I love Sami Zayn. I think he's great, but they could have really, when he did that spot off the ropes and onto Sheamus should have had his storyline neck broken, taken into the hospital for weeks, been in a neck brace, been screaming for revenge, and then a big match at WrestleMania. Oh, but Ricochet, if you're watching this under an assumed name or watching the replay, man, oh man, you and Sheamus were magic tonight. Yeah, you really were. Thank you for your question. I'm the main event here, brother. I appreciate that, Big Ray. You know that. Gaming with Rob. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, Rob. Keep the questions coming, please. TN Couponer, am I pronouncing that right? Says, I agree. I thought Ricochet would have won too. Yeah, it's a shame that he did not win. It really is. I was very disappointed. I think he's a great talent. He's been in the WWE for many years, and he's never been boosted to that more, I'll use the word, elite position. And I think tonight would have been an absolutely excellent plan to do it. We've got Cisco 323 LA. Happy holiday. Happy holiday to you. I grew up reading your magazines, and I always tell people they weren't my magazines. They were owned by Stanley Weston. We were a great group, a team that put the magazines together, but I was the guy out in the field that everybody got to know. So I appreciate, on behalf of everybody that worked for the magazines. And by the way, speaking about magazines, and you can get this in the United States also, or go to InsideTheRopesMagazine.com. This is the magazine I work for. We're up to issue number 16 now. InsideTheRopesMagazine.com. Find out how you can get it. Brother, this isn't the latest issue. I've got that upstairs. I read them in the bathroom, like everybody else does. But great layouts and great magazine. So anyway, let me get to your, do you think wrestling magazines can once again start up in this internet and video interviews day? Look at that. Just talking about it. Inside the Ropes is the place to go. And I know Pro Wrestling Illustrated still publishes a few times a year. And even though I don't work for them anymore, it's still a fine magazine. And how did you feel about Kenny Omega being number one again in the 500. I thought for sure it should have been Roman Reigns. It's just my opinion. Do I see Sami Zayn holding a top title in 2022? No. I like Sami. I think he's great. But if he does, I think it'll be a short-term situation. Dream Team and an 8-man tag. You get to manage one of the teams. Oh, my God. I have to give that a Dream Team. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar. Book it. That's off the top of my head. Big Ray, you have a question. In my opinion, who is the best Santa in pro wrestling history? Might have been Michael Hayes. It's a possibility. Look that up online. Gaming with Rob, what's your favorite wrestling merchandise you got over the years? And can we see a tour of it? I cannot show you a tour of Apter's Alley right now. We will do that another night. But there's a lot down here. The best piece of merchandise I ever got was a belt that was awarded to me by the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And it's over there. I don't want to get up and leave you guys alone, so I'm not going to show it. But I will do another night. We'll do this. I was thinking about doing a Zoom, and unfortunately we'd have to charge for this, of my 1 hour and 15-minute one-man show based on my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? Let's hear the answer. I didn't know it was broken. So, all right. So that was a great question. But I'm going to be back and doing this once or twice a month. So Roman is our tribal chief. Yes, I agree. I think he's great. The last wrestling magazine I purchased was Wow. Yeah, they were pretty. That was a great magazine. I loved working for them. I really did. That was, and I have tons of copies of that magazine, but not down here. By the way, Inside the Ropes magazine also, and I haven't gotten the newest one. They also, if you go to InsideTheRopesMagazine.com, tell them I sent you. They also have an almanac out. They now have the 2021, 2022 one out there also. Is it Rachel or Raquel? I'm not sure. So I think Ricochet deserved to win the gauntlet. Yes. He might have beaten Nakamura to win the Intercontinental title. Yes. If Sami Zayn wins it, it will really shatter Nakamura's run with Boogs. I agree, 100%. The Cyan Turtle, welcome. I was watching the Attitude Era, and I turned the colors up on the TV, and it makes everything pop. Yeah, it looks like 3D. Really does. Eric Reese, my Mount Rushmore of big men. Wow, off the top of my head, Andre the Giant, of course. Baba the Giant, of course. Oh my God. Big men. I guess Bundy might. I don't know. I got to come up with a couple more giants. I've got to think about that one. So, all right. I illegally crossed the border for the white. I don't know what that means. Tim didn't know that they had an almanac. Yes, they did. So go to InsideTheRopesMagazine.com and check that out. Okay, got time for a few more questions. Andre, Undertaker. Well, I'm looking tall guys. Big Show, yes. Vader. You know what? Big Ray, that's it. That's great. Andre, Undertaker, Big Show, and Vader, and Big Ray. So the Sting WCW mask looks pretty cool behind me. Yes. Did I get that when I was shooting pictures for PWI back in the day? And I've seen you all over the WWE network during 1998. Yeah. That Sting mask was given to me by him, actually. The Mil Mascaras leopard mask was given to me by Mil Mascaras. And I have here the original mask that he wore in Madison Square Garden. Yeah. So again, we'll do a tour one night. That Rey Mysterio mask over there, when he lost his mask to, I believe it was Dean Malenko, and got it back, he gave it to me. That's a mask Ultimo Dragon gave to me. The bidding is now open for mask I will never sell. Yeah, this was masked wrestlers were banned in New York State. And back in the early 70s, they made an exception for male maskerists. I should actually put this on, but I'm going to do that on another chat a couple of weeks. Oh, you're very welcome for answering your question. I love these. Dominic wants to know, in my opinion, who is the greatest tag team of all time? I say the Steiners, but a lot of people say the Road Warriors. It depends. The Steiners were the toughest team of all time. The Road Warriors were the most brutal team of all time. Trigonosis, I like yours as well. Did I get paid for being on AEW, WWE Treasures? I got an appearance fee. I did give the neck brace to them, but I did get an appearance fee for that. It wasn't a lot, but why do you want to know? Thank you very much. I got a lot of reaction to that. That's my buddy Andy here. I got a lot of reaction to that show that came down here, but no, I did not accept any money for the neck brace at all. I donated that, and so many people said that I was foolish to do that. So anytime I appeared on the WWE network, on the Monday Night Wars shows, on any of their DVDs, they always gave me an appearance fee, and that's what I got for this as well. So do you get paid for your job? I'm just kidding with you. Who do I consider the best in-ring worker ever? Oh, you got to give me time. Hold on a minute. Let me get my sparkling ice here. That goes by era. It really does. I don't drink booze. This is, pardon that little hanging thing from my mouth for a minute or two there. I don't drink booze at all. This is my baby. Every flavor. Sparkling ice. I love this stuff. Got 2 bottles here, orange mango and cherry limeade. I just sip and sip. I wasn't going to do this tonight. It just felt like showing up. So the Hogan headband is great. I have that on a Hulk Hogan doll over there. It's a headband he gave me the day after he won the WWF title from the Iron Sheik. I will show that again eventually. So Tim, thoughts on Impact Wrestling releasing a VHS? Great. Absolutely great. I think I'm going to buy a nostalgia. I love it. By the way, this belt was made by a fan in Astoria, Queens, and he took like 450 Legos and made this for me. Isn't that magnificent? But no, I think I'm going to go out to every thrift shop I can find a VHS machine and start selling them to Impact should sell the machines to go with it. My favorite wrestler is Kane. I think him being mayor really eliminates his big red machine character in WWE when he comes back. A lot of people, the younger fans, really don't even have that mayor thing on their radar. Best Santa to me was Jake Roberts. Jake was a good Santa. He came to the ring as Santa and handed a foreign object to Kevin Sullivan to beat Dusty Rhodes. I remember that Dusty left for 90 days, and he came back as the Midnight Rider. How did you know the Midnight Rider was Dusty Rhodes, if you will? There's never been proof. If you're at an international buffet, what am I loading my plate with? Italian food. No doubt. Chicken parm, lasagna, baked ziti. Monster Zero, this happened in Championship Wrestling from Florida. Yeah. What was it like watching the Tasmaniac become Taz in ECW? I've seen articles back then when he became an instant fan of him back in '97. You need to get my book because there's an entire chapter of him before he before he started. Well, just when he started his career, of him. I'm looking through the book to see if I can find a chapter of him stalking me in a supermarket. Here it is, of him stalking me in a supermarket in Massapequa Park, Long Island. It's a great story. And it's on page 95. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. Is wrestling fixed? I didn't know it was broken. You can still get it on Amazon or in person at Barnes & Noble. And but after probably around the second week of January, I'm going to go back to selling the Apter Chat pack where you'll get the book, a best of the Apter Chat short DVD, a classic magazine, and some photos of what the heck is going on here? Some some photos of me autographed. So great question though, and Taz and I are still very good friends. Who are some of my favorite wrestlers currently? I'm a reporter. I don't go into that, although I think Roman Reigns is terrific. What are my thoughts on Danhausen? I like him. Do you know if there's going to be another season of those A&E shows about the treasures that I was on one of those shows on the Jerry Lawler episode? I do not know if that's going to happen. Taz mentioned on commentary several times about Liger applying the surfboard submission to him. Did they really touch in Japan? I've never seen footage. I would think so. I don't know. I've never seen any photos, but I know Taz was in Japan quite a bit, so probably. If I had to pick an actor to play Andy Kaufman instead of Jim Carrey, that would be Nicolas Cage, because he looks something like him. Yeah. Truth or dare? What do you want to know? Who's the greatest superstar to align with Paul Heyman? I think it has to be Brock Lesnar. Is it true he's ending his career? If it does end, it's got to be a great career. Wasn't that video tribute to him tonight like magnificent? I thought it was absolutely fabulous. He's not going to retire. I can't see Paulie retiring. I've known him since he was a puppy, so to say. So no, I don't think he's going to retire. But the greatest person he's ever managed, or we want to go back and say Steve Austin or Rick Rude or Bobby, do we want to go way back, or currently Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar? What is an underrated tag team that you would recommend checking out some of their matches? Maybe one or two teams I would think of immediately. Gino Brito and Dino Bravo. Bushwhackers. Dare you tell us a road story that you probably shouldn't? It's in my book. There's tons of them about Terry Funk and Ted DiBiase taking me to a karaoke bar because I love to sing, and it was all transvestites. It's in the book. Yeah, Dangerous Alliance. That's true, Abel. Dangerous Alliance was an underrated faction. Mixed Partial Farts. Oh, I love that name. Would you say the Flair and Hogan era was hotter, or the Rock and Stone Cold era, seeing as you've witnessed both? TV was different back then, more cable saturation and Rock and Stone cold. So it depends what you mean hotter. They were equal in terms of fan passion, but in terms of numbers and saturation, The Rock and Stone Cold had more, I'd say, TV time. Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams enjoyed them as a team. Yeah, they were really good. Well, listen, it's almost Christmas time for Santa to come down most of your chimneys, unless you're in Europe. And I've enjoyed spending this time with all of you. Again, go to Sportskeeda and follow me. Go to Sportskeeda on Google. Go to Sportskeeda Bill Apter profile. It'll come up with all the stories that I've written so far. Please follow me on Twitter at Apter1 Wrestling. That's the number one. Apter, A-P-T-E-R, no N in it, like Dusty Rhodes used to say, Willie Apner. Apter1 Wrestling. I am on Facebook, but I generally just friend people that I know. I'm on Instagram every once in a while. You can get me on email at bapter@onewrestling.com. Was it right for Sting to join AEW last year? Did he make a good decision? Hell yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love seeing him back. Love you too, Big Ray. Dan, you have a Merry Christmas too. Everybody have a great night. And Bill Apter for WWE Hall of Fame for 2022. That I have what I call a Big Ray has seen this, a ladder of success. I'm in 16 different Hall of Fames. There's the ladder there with many of my awards. So WWE Hall of Fame would be wonderful. If it happens, that'll be great. If it doesn't happen, that's fine too, because I have all you wonderful people following me. I really appreciate that. Before thoughts on Bob Ryder. As you know, we lost Bob this past year. Loved him very much. When all the magazines crashed on me and I had no place to go, two people, a guy named Joey Styles and a guy named Bob Ryder, revived my professional life by giving me a job at onewrestling.com. I could never thank them, either of them, enough. I miss Bob so very much. Thank you very much. And yeah, Undertaker being in the Hall of Fame should have happened. And oh man, Roy, thank you very much. And I got to head out of here. So thank you very much. This is Bill Apter, and I'll see you at the matches eventually. Take care of yourselves. Get vaccinated. Get boosterized and all that. I want to keep all of you around forever. Love you all. And that's a wrap. Yo, yo, yo. Or is that a wrap?